I have a Liebherr Refrigerator model CS 2061. The freezer had a lot of ice building up on the back wall, to the point the bottom freezer door would not close. Defrosted the whole freezer. Door works fine now. But ice starting to build up again after only 5 days. And the ice maker has not worked since I defrosted the freezer. I have bled the water line twice, and that works. But no ice cubes. Icing issue might be a temp sensor in the freezer or a clogged drain line. No clue about ice maker.
What's the make and model of the fridge? And can you guesstimate how old is it?
CS 2061, almost exactly 6 years old.
Do you plan on doing the work yourself?
I'd like to try. I'm pretty handy. We live in very rural south-central Utah. The nearest certified tech folks are near Salt Lake City, just over 3 hours away.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
That's about it. Ice buildup over the last few months, then defrosted, the ice maker makes no ice, and ice starting to build up already on the back wall.
Hello, my name is I am a licensed HVAC tech and can help with your question about your freezer ice buildup. I'll return shortly with more information. I've researched your make and model and have located the service manual. This is a very sophisticated machine and will require that you be mechanically inclined, which you state you are, and own and know how to use a multimeter. I say this because there are sensors you can check to try to determine what the problem is. Getting to them and properly testing is the hard part. There are several reasons for ice buildup. Here are some general reasons, and you can probably eliminate a few after reading them since you are with the appliance. This first group assumes that none of the second group are the issue. The defrost control determines how often to run the defrost cycle. If it fails, the refrigerator will not go into the defrost. Before replacing the defrost control board, first test the defrost heater and defrost thermostat. If the defrost heater and defrost thermostat are working properly, the defrost control board is likely defective. The defrost heater assembly turns on several times throughout the day to melt any frost that may have accumulated on the evaporator coils. If the defrost heater assembly is defective, the defrost system will not work, and frost will continue to accumulate on the evaporator coils. To determine if the defrost heater is defective, use a multimeter to test it for continuity. If the defrost heater does not have continuity, replace it. The defrost thermostat monitors the temperature of the evaporator coils. When the coils drop below a set temperature, the thermostat contacts close to allow power to flow to the defrost heater during the defrost cycle. In the defrost cycle, the defrost heater melts away any frost that may have accumulated on the evaporator coils. If the defrost thermostat is defective, the thermostat contacts will not close. As a result, the thermostat won't provide power to the defrost heater. To determine if the defrost thermostat is defective, use a multimeter to test it for continuity. If the defrost thermostat does not have continuity when it reaches the low temperature of its operating range, replace it. Temperature control or air sensor NG. Here are some other reasons that are not controls related. Door gasket is bad and leaking air, door left ajar or not fully closed, evaporator drain line blocked, water from melted ice/frost cannot escape and refreezes starting buildup. I've attached the service manual which provides troubleshooting procedures and can probably guide you directly to the cause. I say probably because not every service problem can be resolved by looking in a service manual. It is not common but does happen that there can be more than one cause for a particular problem. Is what you are calling ice actually ice or a heavy frost? Asking because there are two different reasons for the type of ice/frost. If it is solid ice, there is a good chance that the drain is clogged as mentioned above. When the water cannot drain, it freezes and then layers of ice build with each consecutive defrost. A heavy frost can be an indication of insufficient defrost. That is, it is getting a defrost cycle but the cycle is terminated for some reason. As for your IM, I can't offer much help at this point only because it is probably a lack of a cold enough freezer compartment to make ice. There is testing information for it in the manual. Let me know about the ice versus frost and any questions you may have about testing.
This is a reply to TWA252842 on JustAnswer. Yes, thank you, get your response. Very informative. I especially appreciated getting the Liebherr service manual. My thought is that, before I start tearing apart the back of the fridge, I will run the diagnostic stuff in the back 8 pages of the book that relate to the freezer. Do you have a service manual for the CS2060, my model? Or should I assume the service manual you provided operates under the same diagnostic procedures? 2 oddities. First, when I defrosted the freezer a week ago, the ice on the back wall was solid ice. Now, it looks like heavy frost building up on the back wall, suggesting 2 different problems. And before defrosting the freezer, the ice maker worked. And after defrosting, it stopped working. Any thoughts? Thanks again, Bill Barrett.
I have a Liebherr Refrigerator model CS2061 as the first line of your request. On that basis, I did a search and found what I passed on to you. I'll look again based on this new information and get back to you.
Thanks.
According to the link, that manual is for both the 2060 and 2061, so you can proceed with the diagnostics. When I defrosted the freezer a week ago, the ice on the back wall was solid ice. Now, it looks like heavy frost building up on the back wall, suggesting 2 different problems. Could be, however, I'd lay odds on the initial finding because up until then it was working fine, correct? If so, something caused that icing issue. The frost after that? Not sure yet. As for the IM, I said this previously, I can't offer much help at this point only because it is probably a lack of a cold enough freezer compartment to make ice. There is testing information for it in the manual. Give that a go as well.
Thank you, get your response. Very informative. I especially appreciated getting the Liebherr service manual. My thought is that, before I start tearing apart the back of the fridge, I will run the diagnostic stuff in the back 8 pages of the book that relate to the freezer. Do you have a service manual for the CS2060, my model? Or should I assume the service manual you provided operates under the same diagnostic procedures? 2 oddities. First, when I defrosted the freezer a week ago, the ice on the back wall was solid ice. Now, it looks like heavy frost building up on the back wall, suggesting 2 different problems. And before defrosting the freezer, the ice maker worked. And after defrosting, it stopped working. Any thoughts?
For some reason your response was posted twice. Did you not see my reply?
It was posted twice because the first time I did it incorrectly and someone apparently posted it to you anyhow. We'll start testing the various parts of Tay freezer today and see what turns up. Thanks, Bill.
Got it. Let me know how you make out. Since I haven't heard from you, I assume your refrigerator is working now. Tips for an exceptional effort are always welcome. Please know that you can follow up for next 10 days at no additional charge. Thank you for the opportunity to help you.
Actually, I have been seriously distracted by some legislation here that will adversely affect our county, so I haven't had any time to run the diagnostics in back of the service manual. Soon, I hope. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
This afternoon my wife and I ran through the service menu in the back of the service manual you sent. As far as I can tell, the various tests were all okay. I could hear heat fans and compressor working, heat freezer doors and ice maker all signaled they were closed, and I could hear the ice maker solenoid turning on and off and spitting out water. The temperature sensors seemed to be pretty accurate, with the freezer set at 6 degrees Fahrenheit, it alternated between 6 and 7, and with the refrig set at 40 F, it signaled 43 or 44. I had the door open, of course. And I got no error codes. I'm going to wait 24 hours to see if any ice cubes appear. Stay tuned, Bill.
Good news. Based on your description, everything sounds okay. Not saying this is the case, but flukes do happen, and that could be the case here. Put it this way, when a freezer ices up, the reason usually manifests itself quickly and obviously. That doesn't appear to be the case here. Please do keep me posted.
More than 3 days after doing all the checks and the troubleshooting part of the service manual, I still have no ice cubes and there's still ice, I'll call it heat frost, on the back wall of the freezer. Any thoughts as to what to do now? Bill.
Do you have an amp meter? I can't recall if you own and know how to use a multimeter. If you do, then the defrost heater can be checked for ohms and amp draw. The defrost heater is shown in the manual on page 26. It is possible that the heater is not providing the maximum heat output. The defrost safety can be checked for continuity and is called the temperature limiter, shown on page 25. It may be working intermittently since the appliance worked for several days. Trouble is, I don't know if it is an actual switch or a sensor. It's not listed on the sensor positions schematic diagram, so perhaps it is a switch. If it is a switch, it would be normally closed and open on a temperature rise, keeping the defrost element from energizing, leading to no defrost. Unfortunately, there is no diagram or parts breakdown where more data could be reviewed and compared to the actual components. For example, the watts on the defrost heater could be converted to amps and checked if the amp rating is not known. The other possibility is that the control board is not accumulating the compressor runtime along with door openings. If it doesn't, you won't get a timely defrost. The manual mentions these parameters, but I don't know how it is confirmed that they are being recorded. Perhaps the troubleshooting method for that is mentioned somewhere in the 39 pages of the manual. I'll continue to answer any questions you have, but at this point I'm just about out of suggestions as to what the cause could be.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.